Okay, let's have a look at this. All right, I'll put my microphone on for those people who can't hear me. Okay, I got one. How's that? Fuck hell.
Officers have been hospitalised after a dramatic arrest in Geelong, where one was allegedly rammed by a stolen car. A young boy and his father, have told Lana Murphy they were also threatened by the fugitives.
9:30 Monday morning in Grovedale. One suspected thief is slumped against a power pole, the other hunched over in the gutter. Minutes after allegedly assaulting two police officers and ramming this stolen Subaru into a third officer.
He was really, really distraught and he said, "You tried to kill me. You'll be going to jail for this for a long time."
It unfolded
No, he
in
won't.
Natalie's nature strip on Peter Street. The Ararat man and Moulane woman in two separate cars being chased by police through Geelong South. Retired Senior Sergeant Nick Terry was driving his 14-year-old son to work when they saw the stolen Ford Ranger and trailer speed through a red light.
Then all of a sudden he's just come flying around the corner and pulled up directly outside the butcher shop here.
Nick says the man threatened them with a weapon.
I absolutely think that he was going to take my car.
And he said to Dad, "You're lucky that you have a kid."
200 metres down the road, he allegedly dumped the Ford and got into his accomplice's car. The police say it came straight for them.
And there was a car on the footpath. There was lots of screaming, lots of arguing.
And the police even yelled out, "Please help us." One was wrestling with the girl, one was wrestling with the guy. It all just seemed very chaotic.
Two officers were assaulted during the arrest. All three sustained minor injuries.
We'll do what we do, and that means wrapping our arms around them.
Police say the ute was stolen from a property on Barwarry Road here in Armstrong Creek just after 9 o'clock this morning. They're still working out where the Subaru came from.
Thank God no one else got injured, and we can live to tell a happy tale today.
Lana Murphy, 9 News.
You could put your big arms around them. We don't need big arms these days for the police force, do you? Because you've hardly got any officers, so it'd only be a little hug, right? Mate, you've got three trained officers up against one female and two males on drugs. They still issue firearms to the police, don't they? I think they do. Or are they water pistols? You know, I think I've said this before, and I think people can sort of take it with my attitude, and that you know, I've either played in my field, and I've been on the other side of that fence. You know, so I have an appreciation for the police, right? I respect the uniform, all uniforms for that frontline workers and stuff like that. I have said that there is good and bad and everything, but you know, the police, you know, they're not the first things that I reach for, and that for help, right? And given these days, it's even harder to get the help because down the road here in Reservoir, we've got a brand new state-of-the-art police station, right? It's fantastic, right? I think it was about $20 million it cost to build. It's actually got cells, so and a padded room as well for the psychos, right? So people can actually use it as a jail, right? And house them there, you know, for about 2 weeks. They can house them there to and from court, a bit like Mill Park, right? It's across the road from the fire station and the pub, right? This new police station, right? Yeah. So around about this time, this is when it starts getting ramped up. Like before, we had some wanker go past in his car, doing burnouts all the way down the Mahoney's Road, letting off mortar bombs. Okay. Everyone comes out, you know, because it really goes off. When it gets a bit darker and the traffic's a bit quieter, we'll start getting the trailers rocking up, and the blokes will be testing their hot rods, or you just get hoons all night, just all right through this whole area. You can hear them, you know, just like it's right. And you know, when I say, you know, in high performance cars, they're high performance pieces of shit, right? Or they're the Lebo specials, mate, where they only cost $5,000 anyway, so they don't care. You know, the Audis and the M3s and the, you know, the AMGs and all that. You know them. cracking and banging down the road. And that'd be because the police station down there closes at 5 o'clock, Monday to Friday, and it doesn't open up until 11 o'clock in the morning. And on the weekends, it's unmanned. So it's unmanned all night. But the fire brigades are still there, and the ambulances, they're in the next street over, so they're there, just no coppers. Yeah, but you need to pay attention to what police are leaving the force, right? You've got, seasoned police officers leaving the force. Here, so I have to hear this all night. This is all night. Hear it? All night. It's a fire truck or it's a fucking ambulance, all fucking night. I'm only going down that way towards Broadmeadows. Around about this time, I guarantee you they're going on the ring road, because I don't give. What is it with the ring road? You people, you use the ring road on this side of town every day, obviously, every day, okay? Every fucking day. You know what happens every fucking morning? An accident going to the city. You know what happens every fucking afternoon coming home? An accident coming back, right? Some dickhead, and it's never really a biggie. It's just a bump in the ass or something like that. And you see it, and it's in a migrant car. It's a Camry, so it's white or silver. Yeah, not being racist, but they're not of our culture, and so they don't know how to drive. And they just stop, blocks the whole fucking thing up. I mean, Mary coming home from just Keilor Park, which is just down the road. What really really with heavy traffic it should be half an hour. Maybe at 40 minutes tops. Yeah. Try 2.5 hours. I actually rode down there once. I rode down there on the monkey bike, and I came back onto the freeway, and I lane split all the way up until I come alongside of her, and I beat her home on the monkey bike, just lane splitting on the monkey bike. That's a fucking joke, mate. For starters, stop punching these immigrants through to get their licenses, and then give them a free car, right? First of all, they don't know how to drive, and then top that off, they don't appreciate the vehicle because they haven't had to pay for it, right? I mean, fucking, if you want to make a cake for disaster, that's how you do it, don't you? Yeah, right. But this, shoot them. They're not crooks anyway. They're not staunch. Did you see they wake up against the pole, acting asleep? What's that? Just sooking out, mate. Sooking out. And the coppers, they're not thick-skinned anymore, and I mean, I shouldn't knock them, but really, what sort of a role, what job are you going in for? What are you planning to do in the force? Like, if you don't have a bit of, what's the word, a bit of CUNT in you, right? Okay. Don't go into it, okay? Because you gotta, yeah? You gotta, yeah? You don't have to be cruel, you be fair, okay? But when it comes across that, even decent crooks, and there's not many of them, they don't like those fuckers either. Because those ones, they don't care. They don't care whether they get caught. They don't care. They don't care. Being a crook today, they don't care. They actually want to get caught. They get more notoriety getting caught. And plus also when they get caught, they can go to jail, they can get free dental, they can get apply for an apprenticeship and do a course in there. I mean, I know a bloke who's been in there, he's coming out this year, and he'll be fully trained in everything. So he'll be a carpenter, plumber, electrician, a building surveyor, he'll have his doggy's ticket, right? All of this in jail, all paid for. Yeah, iron his teeth. Got his teeth done too. Yeah. And he loves it. He says it's like being in a 3-star hotel. He's got his own TV, his own shower, toilet, everything. Doesn't have to share anything. And now in Dame Phyllis Frost's, they've got their own like Coles in there, so they actually get trolleys. They've got turnstiles, and they go up and down the aisles. Yeah, it's no shit. Like walking into Coles. Yeah, what happened to the big pot, fat, chef who was a prisoner, right? Sweating, right? having a cigarette out the side of his mouth, right, with a ladle. What happened to that, eh? And you know, your stale bread. What happened to that? When did jail become much like say, you wouldn't even call it a Denny's. It'd be better than that. Yeah. You know, they go there, they get off the ice because they can't get it, and they start training, they start getting big and fat, you know. And, a lot of them, you know, when I was working at the Rex, you know, a lot of them used to go to jail. They go, oh, you won't see me for about 3 months. Justin, oh yeah, what was that? Oh, I'm going to go in and get, you know, I've got to dry out. What? You know, like they know the exact crime, what to do to spend time in jail and dry out, get well, and we're paying for this. How is it also? Oh, this is what I'd like to put out there. Can people please explain this to me? It's not that I'm stupid, but it's like there's not many people out there that are earning, you know, or there are, but you know, but they've got to work for it. But for doing nothing, right? How is it you're worth $160,000 to $180,000 a year, and you just say the lower end criminal, say drunk driver or you know, assault, you know, not aggressive, just assault, 2 years, you know, whatever, okay, common assault, you know, 12 months, and those ones are worth they cost us, us taxpayers, cost us up to about $180,000 a year per prisoner. How's that? Oh, and while they're there, they walk in there and they've always got fines up the arse, right? And that you know, so some of their fines can be, and this is, I'm not shitting you, I'm not lying about this, right? Some of their fines can be up there around about $80,000. Centrelink, you know, Burnley, whatever, they just don't pay the tolls, right? Parking fines, all of that shit, right? Have their license suspended while they're there, so they're in jail. They can't drive anyway, but the suspension starts while they're in jail, and so when they get out, they get their license back. Wouldn't you have it start when they get out, and they get their fines cleared or reduced? Like when I say reduced. Well, then I suppose it must be hard in there because the jails only give them Asics runners to wear, not Nikes. So yeah, I suppose that's a bit of a punishment, isn't it? You know, because they all like their Nikes. But Asics aren't a shit shoe, you know. But I just don't understand. They can just, you know, like going shopping in jail, and then cooking it in your own cell. Fuck, you know. It's a wonder they don't teach them to sing Kumbaya. That's a bit of history, you know. They could put up a fake fire, couldn't they? You know, they got everything else. TV, fucking, yeah, privileges. TV privileges. What else? Oh, free medical. You know, what about the other bird who just she killed that woman, that young mother, stabbed her to death in front of her daughter, and then we're paying for her IVF. Oh, fucking mental. Did you see the fucking thing? Fuck. I don't think they had a fucking a turkey basted long enough to get up there. Fuck me. I mean, it's just a joke. The crime's out of control. There's no coppers. The coppers are coming in with a soft narrative, you know. Oh, now, you know, we'll don't pursue too hard. We don't want to, you know, inflate the situation. How about this? Go in it as hard as fuck, right, and fucking T-bone them, okay? If you're not stopping for the police, right, and you're speeding, right, get them off the road. Off. Get them off. They're a fucking danger, right? They're out of control then, right? I mean, you know, I've ridden bikes for a long time, you know, and I have, you know, sort of eluded the police, right? But I mean, if they get close to me and they knock me, I deserve it. You deserve it, right? You know, what's this? Bring him back to the station. Oh, now, you know, would you like a cup of tea? Yeah, okay. You know, now, can you tell me what's going on? You know, what's the matter? Fuck, what's the matter? Fuck, what's the matter? You know, people are jumping up and down. You know, I just need to remind people about this, okay? So, with the Palestinians, Okay, let's get this quite clear. With the Palestinians and the Jews, right? Israel, right? Israel has always had a problem with the Gaza Strip, because if you look at the name and you're saying it, Gaza Strip, Gaza Strip, Gaza Strip. It's not saying Caroline Springs. It's Gaza Strip. So it's a thoroughfare. You shouldn't be fucking living there anyway, right? And the density of the people in there, right? And they built buildings on there. And did you notice that there was no roads? They built those huge buildings on dirt, no tar roads. But the IDF, they weren't bombing the Palestinians, but yeah, Palestinians are dying, yes, because they are harbouring Hamas. Does everyone know who Hamas is and what Hamas actually states that they are? A terrorist cell. That's right, a terrorist fucking cell. So wherever the IDF bombed and did kill civilians, they got it right, because they also saved hostages from those areas as well. Hey? What would you be fucking doing? Hey? And as for the synagogue, really? Fucking really? You know, look, I mean, all right. I'm not about fucking. Look, what do the Jews do? Tell me please tell me. Can people please tell me what is the issue with the Jews? People say, oh, they're bastards, they're this, they're greedy, they're fucking, they'll rip you off. No, they fucking won't. No, they won't. The fucking Jewish community, mate, they stick, and that's it. What's that? What they are? A community. So if one of them buys a business, they'll all shop there. Okay? Why not? Why not? Give it a helping hand. Hey? They are very intelligent people. So you'd expect them to have money. Yep. Right. When they've got money, like, you know, let's what's this big Jewish families out there, like Aslans, right? They were the second biggest Jewish family in the world, the Aslans, right? And Henrietta, she married Jack Aslan, right? And Jack Aslan, at the time, he was asset rich, cash poor. Henrietta, being Asian descent, her father was a pirate. She was cash rich, asset poor, right? But very good brains. And it was in a year when you could make a lot of money. It was around that time. Now, in America, during the Depression and stuff like that, and also the war when it was going on, downtown LA, all those buildings, if the people who owned those buildings, they were getting anyone to just live in them, because if there was one person having occupancy in the building, that means the city couldn't deem it derelict. Now, to get a building back from derelict stage costs a fortune, but if someone's in there, they can't do it. So Henrietta met Jack, and she's gone up, seen it right. So what they did is this: they put a building keeper, a night watchman, right? Someone was always there, and then they opened up the doors to the homeless and the needy, right? And all they did is they got them to sign a book. Each person that went in, they gave them safe place to sleep, wash, eat, everything, the whole lot. Okay, and that book that was signed in at the end of every night, when the last person was in, that book, along with all the other books, because he owned all of downtown LA, right? Jack did, right? That book would then go to the government office, and they would get paid per signature. Something wrong with doing that? Is there something wrong with doing that? You know, I heard the stupidest thing said from a person when I was getting a coffee, and it really pissed me off. This kid actually, right? And I'll say kid, he was a kid, 22. So this is how smart our youth is, yeah? You know what he came out and said, and he was working at this cafe? You know what he said out aloud? Well, I'm talking about a mother outside facing the cold wind with a 5-week-old baby, and they're out there, the baby, the mother, and the father shivering. The baby's 5 weeks old. I've looked at the daughter of the cafe owner, who knows me, and I'm like going, and she goes, I know. 5 weeks old and it's out in the freezing cold, right? And I've got this other thing. I can only describe it as look like fucking bear's name, Pooh Bear, right? Look like it, you know. What's the fucking bear? Anyway, it was a woman, blue hair, lesbian, right? And this worker. So I'm finished, and he actually waited for me to finish, you know. So he should, I'm a customer, he works there. Anyway, as soon as I finished, he turns around and he goes, you know what I hate? You know what I hate? Like that. And she's like, the lesbian's like, oh yeah, what do you hate? What do you hate? You know? And that, and he goes, billionaires. They're arrogant, greedy bastards. They've got all that money and they're bastards like this. She's going, yeah, I don't like them either. And I was standing there and we're going, are you mental? You hate billionaires on the basis that they've got money. What do you want them to do? Huh? I said, so, you know, I said to them, I said, you know, Jenny Rinehart, she's the Australia's wealthiest woman, right? Yeah. Clive Palmer, you know, and that, they do work, they're at their work, right? I said, but Jenny Rinehart, yeah, okay, she was born into it, right, through her father, right? But I said, do you want to know how her father came across it? Right, because that's Rio Tinto, that's the iron ore, yeah, okay, right? I said, have a look where it is. It's in the Pilbara, over in Perth. Do you know what if you're not mining for iron ore and minerals over that side of, on that side of the fucking earth, or on that side of the, we call it the, you know, another country, the Mexican, well, they call us the Mexicans when really they are, you know, that side of the world does not understand us and we don't understand them. But anyway, I said, do you know what they do with land over there other than mining? They're either got sheep, goats, or racehorses. That's it. That's it, right? And I said, and Jenny Rinehart's father and his brother, right, started off as sheep and goat farmers, right? And they had a bad year this year, 1 year. It was, well, a few years, a bit of a drought, and the sheep weren't, and the goats weren't much to nibble on. But they had a fucking huge property. I think it was, you know, they bought up, and they kept buying, you know, which is good. But it's land that's dead. You can't do anything with it, right? Unless you're mining it, you know. Anyway, they're walking around the property, and they're obviously a bit worried, and they're walking around, but they're not stupid. And they're walking around, and they see a wall, a reef, like a cliff, you know, cliff face. And they're not stupid men, and they go, one of them goes, is that rust? Yeah. Now, if they had a good year of sheep, they wouldn't have seen it. They'd still be probably fucking doing sheep by now, you know. Not by now, but you know what I mean. Anyway, they walk over to it, and they go, fucking iron ore. So what do you want them to do? No, we won't mine it. We won't say anything. Just leave it alone, right? And we'll get some fucking little fuckers, Aboriginals, right, to do their hand painting on it, right? And all this shit, right? You know, okay? And then it'll be deemed protection, National Trust, can't touch it, right? No one will ever see it. No one will ever be coming here. And all those hundreds of billions of dollars will be retained within the earth, and we won't have these, what do they call them, millennials, later on in the year. So they're predicting this, right? Calling this selfish, greedy, out of date, out of touch, everything else like that. Get fucked, right? Fucking hell, you know. I said, you're an idiots. You're idiots. You're fucking idiots, right? But while I've got you here, so we know Victorian police are useless. They're going in with a soft mind. They're not pulling their guns enough. They're not pulling their batons enough. And they're definitely not tasering people. And if they do taser, they're tasering the wrong ones. They're dropping old people. I mean, why you couldn't throw a blanket over her, I don't know. But anyway. So here's something, bit of facts for you. Okay? So, there's a race of people on this earth, right, that procreate when the seasons are good, meaning they have children because the season's been good. Okay? When the season's been bad, they do it hard, and they're not really nomadic. All right, it's a bit hard to be nomadic, right? But yet their population's very small, but they have the highest per capita. If anyone understands that, per capita means, so even though there's 400 million people in America, and there's 26 million people here, per capita on the ratio, right? And this is true here. Our crime is worse than America's. But going back to this, per capita for this race of people, right? They have the highest count of birth defects, stillborn, right? Deafness, Down syndrome, and just, you know, basically shocking with, you know, diseases and, you know, tumours and that in the babies, in the newborn, right? And nobody goes there for holidays. There's no tourism at these places for where these people are. Yet we have tourism for everywhere else, but no one goes there. But yet, we're the cause. We are the cause of their birth rate, their birth. Yeah, what happens with their birth. Do you want to know who those people are? The Inuits. See, out there, and as we all know, if anyone out there does exercise who would know about protein and stuff like that, so it takes a lot of energy to break down red meat, okay? But if you're in the right climate, right, like this sort of climate, and you know, you can eat red meat and the energy's fine because you'll still put on size, right? Okay. But when you're in the freezer, when you're looking at fucking you know, minus fucking 60, right? Believe you me, the last thing you want to put in your mouth is meat, because the energy it takes to burn it, you need it, right? You'll die otherwise. It's a bit like if you're thirsty and all you drink is distilled water, you'll actually dehydrate yourself because there's no minerals in it, right? So they eat, and they're allowed twice a year, and only so many, right? So it's not a mass slaughter, to kill seals and whales for their blubber. And that's why they've got a high birth, death rate and deep deformities. You know why? Because fish, the blubber, that whale's been all around the world. So all the toxins in the water that we put there, you and I, our countries, that whale is taken in. And those toxins, as in ours, go into the fat cell. And that's what those Eskimos and Inuits, that's pretty much their diet. Mercury, all those plastic, you know, silicon, and no one goes there. No one goes there and for a holiday. No one gives them any thought, you know. But as far as where we go would be Anchorage or Alaska. That's it. No one goes right out there. So there's not much of them. There's not many of them left because the seasons wouldn't be that bountiful anymore. So yeah, give some thought to those people when you're having a fucking whinge. Yeah, okay. At least people come around the areas. Yeah, up there they're on their own, on their fucking own, and we're killing them. Yeah. Yeah, we're killing them. Yeah. All right. So go get a pie, and the Victorian Police bring back the V8s for starters. Right. Bring back the height regulation too. Right, because you know, mate, 5 foot and under. Look, I understand. I'm not being a dickhead. I understand about equal rights. Yeah. But if I'm lying on the ground and I saw, say, Mary, for example, running to my aid, I just know I'm going to die a slow death. You know, how the fuck's she going to throw me over her shoulder? First of all, they don't do the sack anymore, and they don't climb over the wire fence. How's that? And the fire brigade, they don't do 4 days on and sleep at the station anymore. So you've got your night shift crew, and you got your day shift crew, and that's because there's women fireys, and it did happen. So yeah, so that brotherhood's sort of been torn apart there. I'm not against women by any means, but there's some things you just don't change, you know. All right, you know. So Victorian Police, I reckon you know what you do. You bring up the age limit to police as well, so they've seen a bit of life instead of just going school, university, law degree for 3 years, then into the academy for 3 years, and then come out and yeah, all you've got is a curbside lawyer, right? And no CUNT in it. Yeah, okay. You know, remember the Dirty Six? Used to walk up and down King Street. Used to just get the dickheads, and the bouncers there used to help them out. You know what brought them undone? The cops. What are the cops called? Dirty, you know, coppers that do that. That's it. Toe cutters. It's like what we call a dog. Yeah. So bring back the tougher cops, you know, and fair, you know. I don't think there's any need for corruption anymore. It's all been done. Doesn't pay off. Most of them are in jail now, you know. And anyway, to be the decent crook anyway, these days, as I said to someone, I heard them talking, they're going, yeah, dropping names and stuff like that. And I said, hey, you want to know how to be the best crook now? The winning crook, the best one? Yeah, you want to know? The one who's got 000 on speed dial and can ring the police quicker to rat the other one out. Yeah, that's how it is. All right? Go get a pie and get some fucking socks.